Good evening all. So following up on my previous video a few days ago, I thought it would be good to show off the green stuff roller actually in practice. So just to show your type of effect which will come off on using actual green stuff putty as opposed to air drying clay. So in order to actually make the mould, we're going to use some green stuff, which I've got a significantly large packet of, 36 inches to be precise, which is lovely. So I've taken around a pea-sized lump, about yay big, of the blue and green, or the blue and yellow rather, to mix together. I'm going to add a little bit of water to my hands so it doesn't stick to my hands, because we don't want clumps of it clinging to us now, do we? And I'm going to mix it up, and I'll show you when it's done. After mixing the first ball, I realised I probably wasn't going to have enough to actually do two bases, so I've done a second smaller one, which will use some of the excess of this one, because I reckon we're going to have quite a bit. So I'm just going to flatten it out thusly, and just kind of spread it over across the base, trying to get it even as I can, while I can. So I'm just going to work it in, trim off the excess. Tap it down, blend it red, and just kind of pull it with your finger. At this point, you don't want your hands to be too wet, because otherwise it's just going to slide off. You want it to be a little bit tacky, but not too tacky, like is fair. So I'm going to have to reapply some moisture, clean off my hands a touch, so it doesn't stick to me. Tap a little bit of moisture in, and just kind of rub it along. Like so. I'm just trying to work out all the thumbprints in it. And just try to smooth it out and get it level. Because level is very important for making sure the mould stays consistent. As you can now see, I've done both of them, as I thought I'd might as well do the other one off cam. Just to save me a little bit of effort of not jarring the camera every 4 seconds. So next, we're going to take the roller, which is a little bit too big to get on my camera, to be honest with you. And we're going to apply some water to that. Where have I put my water bottle? Aha, there it is. So we're literally just going to run water across it, just by squirting it down and working the water in. So now we're actually going to perform the rolling operation itself. I'm just going to move that over to the side for it, centre that a little bit. So we're literally just going to get the mould and roll it across backwards and forwards a couple of times to create the etching. And hopefully, well, that one did not come out so good, unfortunately, but that's fine because we'll just go over it again. Clear off that lump of green stuff there. And we need to put the pressure on it. Just roll it back and forth a few times. And there we go, that's much better. Let's just bring that up to the camera. Ooh, don't want to drop it, otherwise I'll get fuzz all over it. There we go, we can see, oh, bugger, doing what I didn't want to do. And here we can see, it's got a reasonable level of detail on it, so let's just pop that one to the side for a minute. And we shall go from this end this time and see what pattern this creates. So once again, rolling heavily on the mould. Oh, a little bit of pullage there. I think that's come out okay. It's not perfect by any means, but it's perfectly manageable considering it's going to be going on the base anyway, and I'm going to add some water effect onto it later. But that's it for now. So I'm going to let these dry up, and I'll post a picture once they're painted. But just for comparison quickly, this is green stuff white version, and this is the full size version which I did using clay. Now I think the details which came out of this one a little bit better because I've had the larger base size. So I've been able to get the roller in, and it hasn't obscured so much of the detail as you know, compared to this. I'm just able to go all the way down. Right, that's it for now. post up a further update when they're painted. So it's another day, and I've got the two bases painted up, as we can see here. Hopefully that gets an alright focus. So, there's me dropping everything. We can see that it's kept majority of the detail present. It's still looking relatively crisp and fresh. For this, it was just a couple of layers of grey dry brushed over it. I believe Innsmouth flesh from the Scale 75 line, and then Ulthuan grey followed by just a Nuln Oil wash. You can still see most of the, the intricate parts, and you've got a couple of little brush strokes in there from the dry brushing to add that chipped effect. And then this one as well, I thought I'd do another colour to contrast it. Sort of the patina floor there with the runes inscribed in it. Still relatively easy to tell what's going on with it. The little Cthulhu icon there. I decided doing brass just to pick out the details a bit more. And this was a Incubi Darkness followed by a Sotek Green and a Araman Blue dry brush. That was Balthasar Gold, and then hit with a Nuln Oil once again. These are more trial bases than anything else. When I eventually do start producing them en masse for my army, I'm going to be doing an alternate scheme. But I thought I wanted to do something which showed off, the bases a little bit in different colours, just so you could really get into and see what the details still look like. Haven't really had any issue with them once they set. I think initially the problems I was having in the first video was just because I was using cheap air drying clay. I'd imagine something like Das clay would greatly enhance the detail present in them. But yeah, I honestly can't fault them whatsoever. I definitely think that once I start casting these up in resin, they'll be extremely cost effective and make a very aesthetically pleasing set of bases for the army. I know I'm definitely going to try playing with some water feature, and at some point with this I've got an idea to essentially half cast or full cast a base, and then while it's dry just cut sections out and do some nicks in it to make it look like part of the base has fallen away, and build up a ridge around the side, or maybe just use a bit of card or foam board as a shim to then pour water feature into the cut part, so it looks like the bases themselves have flooded a bit. But I'm really pleased with how these came out, to be honest with you. I think that's all I can say for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, which is obviously a little bit of a follow-up. Yeah, I definitely recommend picking up a couple of these rollers. Right, have a lovely day, toodle pip, and tidy buys.